The air was thick with grief and anticipation as friends, family, and fans gathered to pay their final respects to Brad Arnold, the voice behind so many unforgettable songs. No one could have predicted that this day would carry such a heavy weight, a day that would force everyone to confront the reality of losing someone who seemed larger than life. The doors of the chapel opened slowly, and a hush fell over the crowd. Cameras clicked and whispers rippled through the attendees, but everyone's eyes were drawn to the centerpiece of the solemn gathering, the open casket. It was a moment both intimate and unimaginable, a raw glimpse into the fragility of life and the permanent silence that now enveloped the rock star who had once electrified thousands on stage. Brad Arnold's presence had always been magnetic. From the first chords of his songs to the last echo of his lyrics, he had the rare ability to connect with souls in a way few artists ever achieve. Fans describe his music as more than just entertainment. It was therapy, a source of strength during the loneliest of nights. Now, as mourners peered into the casket, seeing him at peace but gone forever, a wave of sorrow mingled with disbelief. It was a reminder that no amount of fame or talent could shield anyone from life's inevitable conclusion. The funeral was a delicate balance of celebration and mourning. Loved ones shared stories that brought laughter through tears, memories that painted a portrait of Brad not just as a musician, but as a son, a friend, a brother, and a mentor. One by one, speakers recounted moments that revealed his humanity, the late-night conversations, the jokes that never failed to bring a smile, the quiet acts of kindness behind the scenes that most people never knew. Each story felt like a piece of a puzzle, slowly revealing the man behind the music, a man whose voice would now live on only through recordings and memories. Fans had come from far and wide, holding candles and flowers, some with tears streaming down their faces. They whispered the lyrics that had carried them through heartbreak and triumph, hoping somehow that their voices could reach him one last time. The open casket, often considered a difficult and emotional choice, became a focal point of collective grief. It allowed fans and family alike to say goodbye in a profoundly personal way, to face the reality of loss and begin the slow, painful process of acceptance. There was a strange comfort in the ritual, a way to honor Brad's life while confronting the truth of his absence. Behind the solemnity, there was also an undercurrent of reflection. Attendees couldn't help but think about the fragility of life, the fleeting nature of fame, and the unpredictable twists of destiny. Brad Arnold's death, sudden and shocking to many, served as a stark reminder that tomorrow is never guaranteed, no matter who you are or what you have achieved. Friends and family struggled to hold back their tears as they watched the steady flow of people approaching the casket, some touching his hands, some laying a rose on his chest, all trying to hold onto a piece of the man who had touched so many hearts. The ceremony was meticulously arranged, blending somber tones with personal touches that reflected Brad's personality. Photographs lined the chapel walls, capturing candid moments of joy and laughter. A playlist of his most beloved songs filled the room, the melodies echoing softly, creating a bridge between the world of the living and the eternal rest that awaited him. In those moments, the mourners were enveloped in a strange duality, grief intertwined with gratitude, sadness tempered with admiration. Each note seemed to remind everyone that while Brad's physical presence was gone, his spirit and his art were immortal. Perhaps the most poignant moment came when Brad's closest friends shared the story of his last days. There was no melodrama, no exaggeration, just honest recollections that painted a picture of a man who remained humble despite his fame, who found joy in small victories and took comfort in the love of those around him. It was a reminder that even for someone in the public eye, life's most meaningful moments are often quiet and private, lived in the company of those who truly know us. These reflections brought the room to a collective pause, a shared understanding of the profound loss that had united everyone present. As the ceremony drew to a close, the casket was slowly closed, leaving the mourners with the heavy reality of finality. Yet even in that moment of closure, there was a lingering sense of celebration. Brad Arnold's life, though cut short, had been one of passion, creativity, and connection. The open casket funeral, while heart-wrenching, had allowed everyone to witness, to reflect, and to say goodbye in a way that honored the depth of his impact. It was a final act of love, a testament to the enduring bond between an artist and his audience. Outside the chapel, fans lingered, sharing memories and comforting one another. They spoke of the concerts, the lyrics, the unforgettable voice that had carried them through life's highs and lows. In the air hung a mixture of sorrow and reverence, a collective acknowledgement that while Brad Arnold was gone from this world, he would never truly be gone from the hearts of those who loved him. The funeral was more than a goodbye. It was a celebration of a life that had inspired millions, a moment to honor the legacy of a man who had lived loudly, loved deeply, and left behind a soundtrack that would echo for generations. Brad Arnold's open casket funeral was, in every sense, a mirror of life itself, beautiful, fleeting, and tinged with sorrow. It was a moment that reminded everyone present that grief is not just about loss. It is also about love, remembrance, and the enduring human connection that transcends even death. As attendees left the chapel, many carried a silent promise to keep his memory alive, to let his music continue to resonate, and to honor the man who had given so much of himself to the world.